share it right now. It's on my page.
Call time's right now, Mr. Jones.
Hey, I'm not even here. Scoot up.
Yeah, and can you turn on my headset a little
I'm
bit?
so tiny. How does that not fit? Nighttime's the right time.
You're not tiny, you're svelte. You're svelte.
Matt Damon. Oh, I am so loud.
That is so high.
That's hot. You got a hot mic.
Wait, hold on. Wrong ear.
Hot.
Who was so quiet last podcast? Chop, 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 chop. Pop, 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 pop.
A little bit.
We're gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Still a little bit down.
Two.
Yeah.
Oh my
16-bit.
God.
16-bit butthole.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of indeterminate ages, 5,
Legal in Canada.
4, or Kentucky, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, you have reached the End User Disagreements podcast. Lucky you. This is episode number 22. 22. You can't lose with 22.
If we were gangsta, that'd be a gun reference, but we're decidedly not gangsta.
We're decidedly not gangster.
We decided on that.
I don't know. I'm pretty hood. Have you seen Mililani? We yeah, someone got their car broken into last month, man.
I got my car stolen.
It's rough.
That's
Yeah,
gangsta. That's gangsta right there.
So gangster. This is End User Disagreements. This is the video game podcast where your argument is
Invalid.
yeah, it's pretty invalid.
It's appreciated, but it's definitely invalid.
Have we ever said that before? That's so good. I'm
No.
stealing that.
I made that up myself.
That's good. Your argument is appreciated, but it's invalid. We're not going to listen to it. More importantly, we are coming to you from Studio 212 here, part of the Soundcasting Network. Thanks, Keith. Super producer Keith in the house.
Woot.
Woot. And we're here in South Lake Union, Seattle. And today we are brought to you by Vidiot. Super unofficially brought to you by Vidiot. And Cupcake Wine.
Yes,
Cupcake Vineyards.
Chardonnay, 2014, Monterey County.
And I realize that maybe a handful of you aren't watching us live, although you should be, because we're super live right now. There's like a foosball game, and there's a debate between an old lady and a vomiting pumpkin with a toupee.
Sure.
Pretty orange, man. You ever see that picture of the vomiting pumpkin and the seeds are coming out?
Yeah.
Looks a lot like Drumpf.
But you said orange, and it makes you think of that Looney Tunes character. It doesn't have any arms, that monster with the sneakers on. What's his
Yeah,
name?
but I adore that character. This other one, whatever. Hey, you never know. Put it this way. He feels like a Call of Duty player. You know? Like he would play COD if he played games. He would play COD.
He seems like the kind of person that would try to get games banned.
That too. R.I.P. Was it Dan Quayle's wife that got us in that whole mess?
Dan freaking Quayle. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since
It's been a while since I said that name.
Potato or potato?
Potato-y.
No.
Thank you, if we're trying to be grammatically correct. Speaking of Vidiot, the reason I'm name dropping them right now is Loud and Brown, right here, just had a birthday. B-U-R-F.
Happy birthday!
Birthday.
It was wonderful. Lovely, lovely people came out.
Happy 19th birthday.
Oh yeah, I'm 19. Let's sound and look like I'm 19. I got carded for the movies the other week.
Nice.
For the movies? I don't look 18?
No.
Get out of here.
No, not really.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
Well-
actually, technically, you have to be 17 to be able to go to an R-rated
They didn't
movie.
think I was 17? Wait. Look at those laugh wrinkles. I got hella laugh wrinkles.
Nice try.
Yeah,
They do not believe me.
the truant police are not believing it.
All right. Before I get into the talking about video, I didn't introduce everybody. How wooed of me. I am Loud and Brown. I am the loudest. I'm the brownest?
The brown is here, probably. Let's see.
Brownest here? No, I think you got me.
Oh,
You got me.
I think we're a
Why am I
match.
even trying?
Yeah.
It's a match.
And to my immediate left, I have.
You have just the tip coming in your ear right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're all winching right now. It's so bad. And then to his left, and I guess at like 9:45 I have.
You have the save rings of V-Dash Gaming.
the epic record holder for YouTube hits in this group.
Yep.
Because I think my top is maybe 350 for a Dear Mr. Manager. I used to be a band called Dear Mr. Manager. We had a video of one of our practices, and it got like 300 hits, and we got really pumped.
You know what? I haven't checked in a while, so you guys can continue on. I'm gonna look real quick.
All right. Go fluff up your ego for a second. I'm going to go back to talking about Vidiot. That's where I had my birthday party. We biked there. I was hanging out with the Fearless Leader kids, Puke Blood crew, hanging out with the Goon Squad, hanging out with Echo Base, all these random nerd groups that I hang out with.
All right.
We all named them from all across the land. We had people from Ellensburg, thank you Black Paul. We had people coming in from West Seattle it was in West Seattle, so thanks for coming out. AV and the Goons. Dude, they had so many cool games. Almost everything's on free play aside from pinball, cheap drinks, cool people, weird cheap food.
Wait, so how do you pay for the games? Is it like a flat rate or?
0 rate. You walk into the bar, play games, and leave, and you could not buy a single drink. It's a free arcade. That's how cool that place is.
That
Vidiot
sounds
rules.
amazing.
It's just, in the Admiral District of West Seattle. It's not on the Junction, because the Junction's where the Woo Girls and retired Capitol Hillians are. Have you heard that joke about Seattle?
No.
That the old Capitol Hill hipsters retired and moved to West Seattle and got a dog? It happens a lot.
Now that you mention it.
Standard. Standard.
It's actually one of the cheapest places to live in Seattle as well.
Oh, cheapest? Not since it became a part of the welcome video for Amazon. Yeah, they talk about getting places in West Seattle because it's cheaper, so all these Amazonians went there. And now it's expensive to live in West Seattle now.
It's expensive living almost anywhere now.
Yeah, shout out to Georgetown. Yeah, stay safe. Georgetown, dude, that place rules.
Yeah, and they have an arcade too. Flip Flip Ding Ding.
They have Flip Flip Ding Ding. They have Georgetown Liquor Company, where when you're waiting for your food, you take their ID. I think they take an ID, or they might not even take an ID. And they just have like old game system you can play for free. We did like a speed run of 2-player Mario World while we were eating and drinking there. We stayed there for like 2 hours, and then we got to like screen 4, and we're like, we need to go out and meet people. Like, we've been playing this game in the corner of the bar for like hours.
It's the most antisocial place in the world.
Shout out to Georgetown.
Nice.
But Vidiot, go visit. It's fun. The pinball costs money, dude. They had. Let me go through some highlights. Can I talk about this for a second?
Okay.
It's your birthday.
Wait, hold on. Make
what's
an entertaining noise while I take a sip. Just like say something.
Gurgle, gurgle.
So mostly they have this fake cabinet. It's a PC running Street Fighter V. It's one of the main reasons we went there. And they have the Hori, Hori, which is a Japanese company that makes fight sticks, like arcade, like stick and buttons, not a controller. To anybody that doesn't make any sense to right
Actually,
now.
They do make controllers these days as well. They're just expensive and hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, they're expensive and you basically have to order them online. They don't sell them at stores.
Yeah.
I've been to Pink Gorilla. I've been to... I went to GameStop. No one actually carries them. You have to order them. Or you go to conventions or you go to game tournaments. And sometimes, like, you go to EVO, they'll be selling them. I should have went this year. Should have went. I have 3 sticks. Whatever. I only use 2 because I'm on PS4 now. And they have these made by Hori. They're great sticks. They're like pro level. And they're like gaffer taped to an old Golden Tee golf game.
Sweet.
And they use the screen and computer and they put in Street Fighter V. And you can play it and it's free play.
I think Golden Tee is still at every truck stop, coast to coast. Every single truck stop I've ever been to in my life.
And bowling alley.
Had a Golden Tee.
Oh, a couple shout outs right now. Looks like we have our friend Chris, Aaron, and Ali. Ali says to go ahead and say hi to Russ for him.
Oh, what up? What up, Ally?
What up, Ally?
Ally?
That's what somebody called him today on a voicemail.
Oh, really?
This is a message for Ally. So, yeah, that's his new name.
Sweet.
Sweet, super sweet.
Super sweet.
Super tight.
And let's go on with this. They had a Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Cadillacs and
Cabinet.
dinosaurs? Okay, it's like, we're talking about like top beat 'em ups out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had it was broken, but I'm going to still bring it up because it was cool to see it in person. They had a silent scope there. They had a DDR machine. They had that boxing one where you put the 2 grips in and you would come back, you'd like punch the screen and it would it would sense you. They had 3-player Star Wars Pod Racer,
Nice.
Cruisin' USA.
Classic.
Dude, so many good, great games, and then of course they had like 2 emulator machines that had like 50 games each. Like I played King of the Dragons for like I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes. It was so good. It was a Capcom side scroller, and they had another like a palette swap that was different. And instead of being able to choose an elf and a wizard, it was just like all different knights.
Nice.
And I forget what that one was called. And we also played Gauntlet.
Of course, classic.
For a hot second. 1943
Classic.
shooter. We played, dude, so much fun. And then the cream of the crop. This is what I waited to talk about because this is going to go into our first subject. Drumroll, please. Me and the Goon Squad. Shout out to Commander AV. Shout out to everybody. We are playing Virtual On. Oh my god! If you guys don't know what I've been talking forever. Can one of you guys please explain what Virtual On is to the maniacs at home?
But shout out real quick to emulators. Oh yeah, to emulators.
Shout out to emulators. Clinky.
To emulators.
Clink.
Because all I've been playing is GameCube on my PC the last couple of days, and it's awesome. But anyway.
So yeah, Virtual On is essentially a mech-based arena fighter, where you end up using 2 joysticks to control like the left and right side of the thrusters for your mechs. You can go ahead and choose different combinations of them, and you just kind of just go one-on-one with other people. The one that you were playing, it was the side-by-side cabinet, correct?
Yes.
Yes. But since then, there really hasn't been too many Virtual On-like games that are based around this kind of arena style of fighting.
It was so good, but it is very hard. Like it will take you a couple of dollars to figure out what you're doing. But this was free play, so a handful of people were jumping into it and just getting on it.
So it was like the actual machine with the twin sticks and everything.
And it worked great.
Nice.
The overhead lights and the speakers for player 2 did not work.
Okay.
Screen and buttons worked perfect.
Okay.
But the player 1 experience was much more immersive and louder. Also, Vidiot, this is a love letter to you, and I'm going to tag you in this post. Can you please make the DDR machine louder? That's the whole point of the game. You can't have the music for the bar louder than the DDR machine.
True.
Not on a whole. I don't want to hear the DDR machine when I'm on the other side of the bar. But when you're playing DDR, I think you could get those little turn.
How is Scott Pilgrim supposed to romance knives if you can't hear the DDR machine?
I know. Oh, did you hear about that? They actually made the easiest way they could make it sync up with the actors to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know they actually had to make a mini game?
No.
They had to make that game because otherwise they would have to choreograph the exact sequence to what was playing on the screen because they didn't want to do like a green screen cap and put it in afterwards because it would look really fake.
Mm-hmm.
Edgar Wright's a maniac for that. So we hired people to make a beat-oriented like physical game that actually reacted to them doing stuff, and they hired mocap actors to be the ninjas and stuff.
Nice.
They made a mini game. It was really simple. It was only the one stage, but they had to make it because it was the only way it would make the most sense.
Ah.
Isn't that nuts?
A little bit of Hollywood magic there.
Get a little bit tricky.
It's a little bit of Edgar Wright magic. And if you guys haven't seen Scott Pilgrim yet, please watch that game.
What are you doing here? If you
It
haven't
is
watched that?
so good. And speaking of side-scroller beat-ups, that might be one of the best ones ever. Have you played Scott Pilgrim vs.
Yes.
World?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude, you could level up. There's... oh my god, it's so good.
I don't know. There's a few beat 'em ups that really stand out for me. The Alien vs Predator machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the top of the list. Castle Crashers, obviously.
Yep, Castle Crasher's got to be up there. River City Ransom's got to be up there.
Ninja Turtles.
Final Fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Final Fight. And there's a couple that did not last the test of time. X-Men is just a quarter destroyer.
Like that crazy, huge, super widescreen X-Men that they have
Yeah,
everywhere.
but that thing was just designed to lose.
Yeah.
Like any enemy, not just boss characters, for any given reason could just interrupt your combo.
Yeah, for me, it always felt like the frame rate was just a little off, even if you were just hitting the attack button at the same rate over and over
It
again.
had nothing to do with how good
Yeah.
you were at the game. Like gaming the system and trying to like make a life last was never the point. Like they wanted your money. Whereas when you play a lot of Capcom side scrollers, I feel like if, like in Alien vs. Predator, if you really watched where you were standing and you watched the opponent, you can make that life last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that game cost a lot of money because at the time that arcade machine was probably like $20,000. The thing was like way ahead of its time with a super wide screen. It had 2 projectors in it. Yeah, that thing was probably a pretty penny. This is why
4-player. Is it weird that so everybody went for Nightcrawler? That's obvious.
No, you gotta go for Wolvie because once he's powered up, he can slash all the way across the screen.
That's fine, but
And plus, it's Wolverine. Who wants to be Dazzler?
I know, right?
that's weird.
Who
Dazzler.
wants to be Dazzler?
I always pick Nightcrawler, but my second choice was Dazzler.
You were him. You were that guy.
I always liked Dazzler. She was cool.
You were never the tank with Colossus?
His AOE was so bad. It was like the immediate space around him. And that's it. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry, I'm like eating at the same time.
But anyways, yeah, you got to go ahead and play some Virtual On, and that just kindly brings us into, what, our next subject?
Yeah, holy crap. We talked about that for way too long. So mech fighters, and then we get to talk about mechs. And my goodness, Peter Cho, shout out to Peter Cho, my roommate, my dear friend. He's all about the mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about lovely, lovely mech games. And I'm going to start it off because I'm feeling it and I feel like talking a lot. My first mech game to talk about that I really liked, sort of similar to Virtual On because it was third person, but it wasn't like a one-on-one, was Zone of the Enders.
Shout out to Kojima-san.
Kojima-san. Was that a Kojima game?
Sure was.
That's why it was so solid.
Yeah.
He did. That's the game he did after Metal Gear 2.
Oh my god, it was such a solid game.
I think it was after Metal Gear 2.
It was in between Metal Gear games.
It was
Yeah, I
so
don't think it was the
clean.
3.
It had the regular sword, and you could hold the button and it releases the little... Oh, it was so beautiful. Everybody go out and try that. We got a lot of games to talk about, so just a
geez.
tip.
Yeah, well, we brought this up earlier whenever we were discussing the segment with Metal Warriors for the SNES.
That's probably the most underrated mech game of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it also, you had the battling system, so that, there was the main mission itself, play like you're fighting against,
And it was
this
a-
giant force.
And it was a side scroller, and it was one of those few games that were like brilliant at the time, like very much like Blaster Master, where you can jump outside your vehicle and
Yeah.
run around on foot and do stuff.
Master Blaster?
Blaster Master by Sunsoft. Rip to Sunsoft. Yeah, you could jump outside your vehicle. So say you were fighting your way to this fortress and you got to a gate, you could actually hop out, climb underneath the gate as your little soldier and hit a switch, and then run back and get back in your mech and like go on to the
Nice.
next area.
Yeah, and this was a concept they actually ended up using in the Mech Assault series. So the original Mech Assault, which is based off the Mech Warrior series, and they made an arcade version to go ahead and try to sell Xbox Live back in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 2002. Anyways, but in Mech Assault 2, yeah, you were able to do the same thing. Go ahead and hop outside of your mechs and try to go ahead and hack into other mechs, be able to take people out of it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of similar to Mech Warrior, Mech Assault.
No, they had Mech Warrior, a couple of them on the PC. The one that came out in like 97, 98, Mech Assault. I can't remember what it was. It was really good. Shout out to FASA too. They used to make all those BattleTech games and stuff like that. So what else we got?
Oh, of course I'm going to talk about Steel Battalion.
Oh, yes.
Holy gosh.
How expensive was that? Was it like $150
Yeah,
controller?
it was a $150 controller. When you died, it wiped out your save game because you died.
Mhm.
It had a physical eject button. It had pedals. It had all that
So
stuff.
the whole thing about this Maniacs is...
It had a windshield wiper button.
Oh,
Like
man!
130 different buttons you had to
Yeah.
go ahead and keep track of
Yep.
on this controller.
So amazing. And it kind of gave you the experience of like how would your actual control panel look like if you were in a mech.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole idea behind it.
It had a physical eject button, and if you didn't jump out, you died. And
I can't remember.
your
Did it
game
have
got
pedals?
wiped.
Did it have pedals also?
It had
that
pedals.
you connected
Yep.
to?
Yep. Oh, way ahead of its time.
That's freaking amazing. Oh, wait, other mechs. No, we talked about a lot of the good ones.
I worked for EB Games right before the Dreamcast came out, and there was like a Dreamcast like demo loop playing over and over and over. And I remember one game specifically that would like draw people's attention in the window, and they'd walk in and be like, "What's that game?" It was a Frame Grind, and it was
Frame grind?
yes, it was made by From Software, the creators of Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Armored Core, which is another hallowed mech series. So that I specifically remember that people signed up and pre-ordered Dreamcast just for that game.
Just for the mech game?
Yeah, just for them. It looked pretty sweet. Yeah.
if you're just tuning in, and if you're just hearing granola in my mouth right now, I actually have granola in my mouth.
Because we're from Seattle.
Because we're from Seattle. This is End User Disagreements, the podcast where your argument is...
It's appreciated.
But it's still invalid.
Yeah, very much so.
Talking about mech games, we're talking about my birthday,
With the F.
and we're reminiscing a little bit, but we're going to stop over to a lovely little headline that will lead us to a black hole of subjects. And we have our buddy KG. And you know what? I'm going to send this over to V-Dash. V-Dash, what happened this week in sports and gaming?
Well, KG, one of my favorite athletes of all time, the kid.
Maniacs, that's Kevin Garnett.
Yes, number 21, number 8 when he was on the Celtics. He recently retired this week after, 19 or 20 years in the NBA?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the end of an era in a lot of different ways. He was the last connection to all your favorite players from the 90s. He's been around for a long time. Instant Hall of Famer, first time. But what makes it special as far as video games is he's the last remaining player who was still active while 16-bit basketball games were being made. So your NBA Lives for your Super Nintendo and your Genesis, all those 16-bit games. He was the last remaining link to that era. So now he's gone.
That's a big move. Well, now, with my knowledge of sports,
Well,
I have a feeling we still got a couple kickers in the NFL from '96 that are probably still playing.
No.
Well, yeah, kickers last for a while.
maybe Vinatieri, because he's still playing. He's like
Yeah,
in his 23rd
baby.
or 24th season.
Woo! I have him on my team.
Yep. But that just leads into the whole. And I specifically have fond memories of the NBA Live series while it was still on the 16-bit systems. NBA Live '96 on the Sega Genesis, arguably to me, is the greatest basketball simulation ever made.
That good.
Yeah, it was really good. Actually, I was in college and we had a couple copies of the game, but my copy we would take, and it had MJ on it, but he wasn't very accurate, so we put him on some farm team and we made our own MJ more accurate. And then whenever there was a trade or an injury, we would go in and make that change in the game, and we had it labeled. We put a special piece of tape on it and colored it this is the official copy. This is the copy that we play. So we come home from class or whatever, somebody oh, did your so and so got traded? Nope, put it in, make the trade.
Wow, that's
So-
crazy. That's
so it was
really in depth.
So it was straight up accurate. So I have very fond memories of that.
Now, who's MJ?
That'd be the GOAT. That'd be the GOAT. That'd be the greatest of all time, number 23 from North Carolina.
But I mean, yeah, just go ahead and think about how many games and how long ago that was. The 16-bit era, we've had the 32-bit era with the Sega,
The
Sega Saturn and the Sony PlayStation. And then we had, N64 during that same time period. Then we went through Xbox, the original Xbox, PS2, been through PS3, Xbox 360, and now we're on, another generation. And finally, he's retiring.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, some of my favorite basketball games were definitely from the 16-bit era, no matter how good or bad they might have been along the way.
Shout out to Slam and Jam 95.
Who the hell was that?
Slam and Jam 95 on the 3DO was one of the most underrated sports titles of all time.
Tell us more.
Shout out to C. Ludlow. There was this guy. It was not officially sanctioned by the NBA, but they have representations of NBA teams. And the Washington team, which back in the 90s they had George Mirasan. He was a 7'7" player from, I can't remember where he was from, but if you were alive and you were paying attention to NBA basketball back then, he was kind of a freak show, but he was pretty good, and he was a good guy overall. But his characterization on that game was a character just called C. Ludlow. And shout out to my boy Wood, who out there in Denver now. He used to play with this guy, and he had this guy down. He could hit threes with him. He could dunk from the three-point line with him. He could do all this kind of stuff, and it was just the dude was a beast. He'd average 50 points and 22 boards and 9 blocks a game. It was ridiculous, and hitting threes the whole time too. So shout out to NBA Slam and Jam, not NBA, just Slam and Jam 95. What else? David Robinson Supreme Court on the Sega Genesis. Shout out to Air All Night. There was a guy on there called Air All Night, and it was just like double dribble. If you stood in a certain place, he would not miss threes.
What the hell?
And you could just bury the computer with this one guy.
What was that? Was it Michael Magic Johnson Fast Break? Was that NES or was that Genesis?
I think that was NES.
Oh,
I
wow.
totally remember that.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, but that was still, 8-bit era. Garnett wasn't playing back then. When I think of, like, 16-bit, the basketball games I mainly played were, like, NBA Jam, for example.
NBA Jam. I always chose Clinton. Slick Willie, my heart's with you.
You had to unlock him, though.
Yeah, I didn't know. There was cheat codes in a Genesis.
Yeah, it was in the back of, like, EGM or something. You had to put in the
You
cheat
know
code.
this.
Mhm.
Oh, man. NBA Jam, when you could dunk from half court, it was so tight.
He's heating up.
No goaltending.
No.
Can't buy a bucket.
Not at all. And MJ was under contract with someone else, so the Bulls had Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. There was no MJ in that game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Man, and it's NBA Jam, we got to talk about NFL Blitz.
Yep.
That was 16-bit.
But I could take it back further. Who remembers Magic and Bird?
Magic
Oh,
and
God,
Bird.
yes.
And I had the very first. It wasn't even an NBA Live yet. It was Lakers versus Celtics. It was on the PC, and they could only show half of the court at a time. So if you got the rebound and came down, it would switch to the other side. Like the screen would like literally switch to the other side, and that was it had 8 teams. And man, I used to play the hell out of that game.
I didn't play a whole lot. I had Hardball for the Genesis.
Kareem was still on the Lakers. Like that's how old that game was.
What's that other cartridge company that made cartridges for Genesis? Was it Tengen?
That was Nintendo. Yeah, Tengen.
Yeah, they made the unofficial cartridges because they didn't want to pay for that official seal.
And they
worked.
And they had games that were like for other systems. Like they had Afterburner, Outrun, like Sega games on the Super Nintendo.
Now, we didn't talk about this when we pep talked earlier. We talked a little bit about NFL Blitz.
Mm-hmm.
Talked a little bit about the other games. Because I'm a Genesis player, I had the joy of playing Mutant League Football.
Nice.
Oh, man, Mutant League. If you guys listening right now do not know, does anybody know? Anybody talking?
Do they know? Do they know?
Do they know? If you don't know, Google it right now. It was this insane, like horror movies meets football, like fun game.
This was from EA too, wasn't it? Electronic Arts?
I believe it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
Am I praising EA right now?
Yeah, it sounds like you
I'm gonna
are.
jump in front of a bus after this. So you were able to choose the 40 Whiners, and the Mutant League All-Stars was the team everybody used because there was just everybody that was awesome. And you would get a cheat per quarter. One of them would be like a jetpack, and you could like launch over the line of scrimmage and then start running. Another one would be like whoever you're playing with just gets a bag of dynamite, and anybody gets close to them, he just throws it at them and they blow up.
Nice.
And it was like, but they also did real sports video game stuff. Like you could make a league with your friends, and when you use these special attacks, that character would be dead. You'd be like, you just threw a stick of dynamite at my best defender. Like, shouldn't have been near me.
Yeah.
And then you could bribe the ref, and the other opponent will start getting like 5-yard penalties for like drooling and for being ugly. And the only way to stop it is to kill the ref, and you send a defender after him and sack him, and he turns into a little splatter. Oh, Mutant League Football is great, and there's Mutant League Hockey.
Did anyone catch the Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl commercials yesterday during football?
Oh, yes, I did see those.
Freaking amazing. I was like, that's the greatest commercial I think I've seen in a
Yeah,
long
because
time.
Bo Jackson was untouchable.
Yeah.
Just untouchable.
The secret weapon of the original Tecmo Bowl, Cap Boso on the Bears. And it was a broken play, but he'd get 5 yards automatically every single time. So you could just 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. No matter what the other team picked, he would just get 5 yards. Every single time, right up the gut.
How so?
It was just like a broken play because it was an option. So you could either hand it off to him, or you could get the ball and go back and throw it. Well, if you just hiked it straight to him and then didn't hand it off again for the trick play, he would just run ahead, and the defense wouldn't stop him. Even if they called the exact same play as you, there'd be a seam, and he'd just run right up the gut for 5 yards and then get tackled every single time. So if you were goal line, just pick that play, blip touchdown, blip touchdown.
I didn't know sports very well, so I did a lot of Hail Mary plays on Blitz.
On Blitz or Tecmo Bowl.
I didn't even own Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, you need to get Tecmo Bowl. It still holds up. That game holds up pretty well.
Yeah, Basil Caleb.
Seattle was pink on that game. they made the Seahawks pink and white on that game. I remember that.
What?
And their plays were garbage. They had one running play and like 3 funky passing plays. They were unplayable. You couldn't do anything with them.
Challenge accepted.
I dare you to win a game of Tecmo Bowl with the Seahawks on that game.
We gotta be forgetting some other games. Come on, some
Oh, plenty. Bill and Beer Combat Basketball.
That was the one that came to mind whenever we were talking about 16-bit basketball games.
Michael Jordan in Windy City Chaos. That's why he wasn't in Jam, because he was in Michael Jordan in Windy City.
Yeah, that was LJN.
Was it LJN?
Yeah, I think it was the name of the company.
Rip LJN. And
Did we talk about Arch Rivals yet?
didn't get to Arch Rivals.
No.
We will. There was Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam,
I actually like that game.
which actually has somebody's remaking it, and there's like a side project.
Oh,
online.
yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, and because Barkley kind of sued them and kind of shut it down, they retooled it, so now it's a post-apocalyptic RPG with Charles Barkley.
I heard about that.
Yep.
That's so good.
Yep. So you got that.
So sports games, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of other ones. Shout out to things that are more contemporary. Have you guys even bothered with like Mario Strikers?
I have that game on my GameCube emulator. I haven't got a chance to. Mario Golf is so freaking good.
The Mario sports games are incredible.
So
I learned
every
how to
single
play.
one of them.
Huh?
Every single one of them has been great. Mario
They're
Baseball,
solid.
Mario Golf,
Yep.
just like tennis. Every single one of them, you just get endless hours of fun.
Yeah, I spent all weekend playing golf with my son wanted to play that.
What's that SNES game with like the robots playing baseball?
Oh yeah. No, that's
Base Wars
yeah,
from the NES.
yeah. That was on the NES. Yep.
Was it?
Mhm.
Yeah, Base Wars
Like-
is NES.
And like the pictures had like a cannon arm, and like
Yeah.
all the base stealers, all the fast robots had like a unicycle like wheel for legs.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember with the unicycle one that I would force him to go ahead and step off base just so I could go ahead and get into battles.
Yeah.
Because you just keep doing the spin over and over
And then I
again.
remember, like, if you try to steal a base, when you got to the next base, it actually would go to, like, a side scroller, like, beat 'em up, and you'd fight to see if you stole the base or not.
That was NES graphics?
Yeah, and then you can upgrade your characters as well, give them weapons, so that you end up having automatic guns or
Yeah.
like some sort of laser sword.
Yeah, and, like, your power hitters, like, their arm was the bat. Like, they just hit the ball with their arm.
Well, hot damn. Well, talking about sports is pretty hot off the presses. I believe we just had a Seahawks win.
Very scary one.
Yes, go Hawks. Go
The
Hawks.
Hawks. We had a Sounders win. Eat dicks, Galaxy.
The Huskies won down in
The Huskies
Arizona.
won.
They hadn't won down there in, like, a decade.
Nice.
So they won down there.
And how are? Oh, I don't want to ask this. I'm scared. How are the Mariners?
They won 2 out of 3.
What?
They're technically
Oh,
still
Blue Jays.
Still technically in the wild
Yeah,
card
they're
race.
2.5 games back with 9 games left.
It was a good day for sports. Hey, super producer Keith, what's the name of the sports podcast here?
It's on hiatus and rebranding.
Okay, what was it called if people want to watch the old episodes?
Paul and Eric do sports.
Paul and Eric do sports. Paul and Eric do sports. Look it up on SoundCloud, part of the Soundcasting Network. It's still there, right?
Oh, it's still there.
No, you can listen to the podcast. They're great. They're cool dudes. We always like see them. We see them from time to time. We talk sports. Well, sorry, just the tip and Saturdays talk sports. I sit there going, I watch soccer.
Sports ball, yeah.
Yeah.
And no, there's a lot of other stuff. If you haven't already heard, I love listening to Grill How Long Steak Mister with Jahani and Robbie, and it's such a great podcast about back of the house restaurants. You got How to Be a Better Drinker. You got yourselves Evil Petting Zoo. It's a swarm of great podcasts. Listen to all of it. Soundcasting Network's got you covered.
That they do.
And you know what? I'm done with topics. What about you guys? I think we got a couple other things we might talk about, but I don't know. It's Monday night.
I don't know. This next one's kind of like a big can of worms here. Are you sure we're ready for this?
I don't know if we're ready for this. We're gonna follow that up.
Yeah.
You okay with that? We got this other thing that we've been waiting on, but we're gonna get some numbers for you,
Yeah, and honestly, things might unfurl a little bit in the next week anyway. So.
and we will see. To stay tuned and be more of an intelligent listener, go look into your specs for your PC or console and see how well it works with your TV. See if it works for your arrangement, like how. Oh man, wire management, cable management, dude.
Are you getting the maximum out of your displays? If you have a console, if you have a PC, it doesn't matter. Like, are you getting the most out of it?
It's
You
all
got-
knowledge.
Got the proper cords hooked up. You got
Some people don't know about the game setting on their TV.
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, if you got your PC hooked up to your TV, do you have it on computer settings, or are you getting like massive input lag that you
That'll-
would have otherwise?
Yeah, same bat time, same bat channel on EUD 23. We're going to talk about that. I think that'll be a good point.
Yeah.
And we'll have numbers. But in the meantime, break out those old sports games. Go visit Vidiot. They're wonderful people. They are cool. And it's decorated with all like nerd stuff and 8-bit art and goodness gracious.
Check them out online. They got a website. They got a
Yeah,
Facebook
the
and
website
stuff.
will help a little bit, but whatever. Just go over there. Just go over there. Pull the trigger. And goodness gracious, thanks everybody for listening. This is End-User Disagreements. This was episode 22. 22?
22.
Yeah,
You can't lose with 22.
that was fast.
Yeah, when you couldn't afford a 40, you'd go with the 22.
Gotta go with the 22.
Mickey's.
And I would like to make sure you guys follow us on every means possible. Subscribe to our SoundCloud and follow us on Instagram at End User Disagreements. Like us on Facebook at End User Disagreements. And on Twitter,
EUD Podcast.
EUD Podcast. Do all the hashtags. Retweet us. And maybe we'll trend. That's rough. Trending is rough. Well, you were trending for a minute and you freaking jumped on that, Save Rings.
Oh yeah, I looked it up. I have 5,155.
5,000?
views.
Where's our
5,000
5,000 views?
Yep.
You're getting like $12 in the mail, man.
It's up to. Oh, I can't say because just in case I do get paid, I don't want to violate any YouTube because you're not supposed to say.
Oh
what
yeah,
make
you
on
and
there.
those theoretical dollars.
Yeah.
The
Those theoretical
Theo,
dollars.
The Theo dollars. Like
Mm.
Cosby Show Theo? Theo.
Jamming on the wall.
Jam. This has been another lovely podcast. And tune in next time. Have fun. This is Loud and Brown, and to my left,
Just the tip.
and to my far left,
The Savorings of V-Gaming. Go back and check out the video again. Like, help me, yeah.
thank you kindly. Plur.
Plur.
How drunk is Derek? Drunk enough to say plur on the podcast?
You don't even know what it means.
Peace of unity and respect.
I don't think anyone knows what it means.
Oh, I went to Ravens in like 98, 99.
Well, I
I'm
know.
old.
I know. The one question that always bothers me is, do you plur? It's like, no, it's a way of life. You don't do it.
How'd we do? No one was commenting?
No, we had a couple of comments. I had to go ahead and back out because it wasn't refreshing.